Okay, a lovely clear rule that I always like to talk about is heads being on top of each other. We can see here that this guy in the background and this boy in the foreground, in the back of the composition, in the front of the composition, has created a line, a straight line that breaks the movement around the breaks the movement around the composition. So what we always need to do is make sure that we don't have one head above another head. Makes all the difference. Okay, this is a great insight here, explaining to us that our eye goes from dark to light. We can see here that we look at the groom over here who's dark, and now our eye goes towards the bride who's light, which means our eye is traveling in this direction. That means that this area over here, which is obviously super important in the image, is being neglected. So what do? We switch them around. Now that we can see our eye is moving from dark to light and then into the western wall in the background, which is obviously a key factor in our picture. A clean, quick example of how to bind an image together when you've got two rows of people. Just have the guys on the sides drop their hands on the shoulders of the guy sitting at the side. Makes all the difference. Goes from two lines to a circle. Really binds the image together. Looking at the proximity of two pieces of a picture, we can see mum and dad in the background are a little far away to bind this image together, and it's come across as really two disparate parts of the composition. So all we need to do is move the bride in a little closer so that her bouquet overlaps dad, and we've ended up with a much tighter picture. Now, this is a good example of not just messy hands, but hands that are pulling our eye out of the composition. We can see our eyes are falling down here. Everyone's hands are going down, everyone's hands are going down, except for, I suppose, mum's hands around here. All we need to do now is just have everyone bunch their hands together, and it creates a much tighter composition. Instead of our eye constantly falling down, we've now got a line just moving all the way around the image, keeping everything much tighter, much cuter, and prettier. Okay, the same idea here. Arms hanging downwards again, our eye moving down. All we need to do is get the two girls to hold their hands here, and we've ended up with a really tight circle, nice composition of a tight, neat family composition. There's no second image here. This is just to show you terrible light. This is called dappled light at its worst. When you get to a situation like this, it's worth not taking the picture. Okay, we didn't really gain anything for taking the picture. You have to find a new location. This is a disaster.